sometimes a more basic type of fighting and ability is way more effective than something way more complicated and crazy just to dispense and utilize. Bacchus, like him having palm magic, and I know that's not the official name of his magic. We never really got anything from it. It was mostly just kind of talking about, oh, he's putting magic in his palms and then using palm strikes. But his magic itself, it's probably one of the most simplistic in the entire series, because like even stuff like transformation magic, there are stages to transformation magic where even going into like telepathy or anything, like there's clearly higher variations of it, different ranges. Obviously, like when you look at something like Mark, you're like getting into somebody else's telepathy. Like there's more avenues to that style than something like what Bacchus has. Because what Bacchus had, he's literally just putting magic in the palm of his hands and then smacking his opponents around with it. But when I mentioned that, like the simplicity of it and how useful it was, is because he took it and combined it with a martial art to give the best possible like result of that. And it's funny because there are some characters that aren't Dragon Slayers but give off a little bit of vibe of Dragon Slayers when it comes to like how exactly they fight. One of them being Gildarts, another one being Jura. Like Jura could have easily just been an Earth Dragon Slayer, a Rock Dragon Slayer, and you wouldn't have to really change anything about his like style of fighting or moveset, because on top of like the regular rock manipulation, he's just a big hand to hand combatant, very physically strong, like a tank, very Dragon Slayer like. And though Bacchus isn't the same manner, he is towards the fact that he is, obviously a hand to hand melee combatant directly, close in. He doesn't have the tanking abilities though, so clearly palm magic doesn't come with any form of additional level of defensive ability. Just off of like that set, you're just gonna get the regular, regular magic stats just from having certain amounts of magic in your body that are applying to your physical capabilities. And where you're gonna go with palm magic, I feel like it's one of those ones where in reality, I feel like it could have been like a really basic magic to put on a lot of characters. Again, like telepathy, like telekinesis, not telekinesis, sorry, like telepathy specifically. It's on a lot of characters. There's a lot of people that have the ability to, to communicate through the mind within the series. But really, Bacchus is the only one with palm magic. I would have loved to see it on someone like Kane Hikaru, where he's, running through trees trying to palm strike people because he has like some sumo jokes going on with his style. But where Bacchus is using it, having his whole I don't know how to pronounce the martial Paku Kwan, and it's translated to like hanging chop fist, and then his higher version that he invented himself, the drunken hanging chop fist, like stuff like that, where you can just take a style of magic and then turn it into, like, essentially like adapt it into the best way for you. So something like that where it's like you don't have a specific style to it. Like you could have easily had palm magic and then combined it with another magic entirely to give like a fully new result. Again, like look what I said against Kane Hikaru. Like he already had his whole voodoo doll set, and imagine if he had palm magic to increase all his strikes and attacks that he already had going on. You could really tag that onto a lot of characters. Like even something like you add it to like Natsu, and like he would probably just be able to have a whole new set of general ways to dispense his magic. Probably just kind of like normal hand thrusts and smacks, but it's a base boosting one, and I would assume it's not hard to learn because all you're doing is putting magic in your hands. Is even all of Bacchus's techniques were martial arts moves. Like his magic was more like, oh yeah, it's just kind of secondary, and his martial arts was the primary. It's not the same thing as like how Dragon Slayers are melee combatants because of like how their magic works and how how they dispense it. Whereas palm magic, I feel like you could be a melee or a ranged person, but you could also combine it with like any fighting style, and probably combine it with a multitude other magics to get like just various different applied effects. But It's one that I really like just because it's super simplistic. It was really cool just to see, it smacked right onto a martial arts character and watch Bacchus go to work. I always liked Bacchus. Unfortunately, Mishima got tired of him shortly after his fight with Elfman. I just used him as like a measuring stick to kind of show off like when Ichi is serious and then like where Sting was after the whole events with like Lecter and Genma and stuff. But anyway, that was just a really simple magic just to talk about very briefly. And it's like really like all you have to really understand is like, oh yeah, you're putting magic in the palm of your hands, smacking people around, like literally smacking people around, and trying to use it probably to like whatever your already existing fighting styles. Like it wouldn't have surprised me if Bacchus was a martial artist first and then like he was like, man, I should probably learn like magic, and then like went and found palm magic and went off that. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, befriend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But in that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.